I don't have friends. I got family.
Family. Family.
Family.
Family.
Family.
Family?
Family. Family.
Your family.
Well, everybody, we're back for the Fast and Furious Summer with our episode 2 of Too Fast, Too Furious. And Troy looks like he is just on pins and needles to talk about this.
That's right.
Or as I said earlier, I am too fast, too curious about what Troy thinks of this Paul Walker Tyrese outing.
Yep. I'm too furiously tweeting over here. There we go. Tweet sent from the Review podcast Twitter. It's a good one. It includes a picture of 9 empty beers.
So I need to look this up because I think our first episode of Too Fast, Too Furious, based off the last month, it is the number 4 most downloaded show this month so far.
Our Fast and Furious review.
Yes.
Well, not to, I don't know why I wouldn't say this, but I also had somebody that I personally know question me about our Fast and Furious summer reviews, asking when the next one was.
Yeah.
Because we did our first one, took a bit of a break, jumped into it.
Yep.
They want to know. They're clamoring.
They want
this
more.
Is catching on.
Troy, I might say this is probably the best idea I ever had. And then I watched Too Fast, Too Furious.
So, let's get some stats out of the way up top.
Please.
As we usually do.
Please let me know, Troy.
You got it. So, Too Fast, Too Furious.
Oh, do not screw that up, Troy.
Deliciously delectable title. Dropped,
so clever.
Dropped June 6th, 2003 for that coveted summer release.
Post 9/11.
Post 9/11. We are still in high school at this point.
This is a Paul Walker that watched the towers go down.
That's right.
You can see it in his eyes that
budget
there's something missing.
Of $76 million. I'm trying to look to see what the other one was.
Do you realize that the movie we talked about this week, Brightburn, that's $70 million less?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Than while this was made.
The budget of the first one was half at $38 million. They doubled down.
How? Fucking how?
I couldn't tell. I could maybe tell you one thing they spent their money on, and I'll get to that in a minute.
Rat Pink Belly?
Electric grappling hook. Domestically, this made $127.1 million. Worldwide, raking in $236.3 million. Made its money back and then some. Rotten Tomatoes has this at 36%.
That's generous.
IMDb has it at 5.9 out of 10. Metacritic, 38%. And Steve Pulaski Message Board gave this 2.5 out of 5 stars. So there you go.
Boy. Steve Pulaski is not holding back.
This movie has won 4 awards.
What?
Let me read them to you.
Is it an MTV Movie Award?
You'll understand the awards once I read them to you.
Okay.
It won 2 Teen Choice Awards.
Oh, no.
1 for Best Fight and Action Scene of 2003.
What fight?
Probably action scene, more or less a chase.
Okay.
And it also won for Best Chemistry in 2003.
Don't tell me it's between Paul Walker and Eva Mendes.
I didn't see what it was from.
They don't even fucking touch each other in this.
It also won an MTV Generation Award in 2017. 2017, it won this award. Probably for the whole franchise. And it won a BMI Film Music Award in 2004. I don't know what that is.
For its constant play of music?
For its constant play of music. What is that note? Oh, that's something to bring up later.
This movie wins the BMI Music Award for most music per capita in movie.
So
there's literally probably a scene in this where they play 5 songs at one time.
Oh yeah, I mean, why flip the script? You did it in the last movie, you keep doing it in here.
No, but here it's like they show a bunch of people blasting their fucking trunk speakers, and they're all playing different songs.
That's very true. So I just want to read a first few bits of my notes here.
Go for it.
Because I did them in order in which the movie happened, chronologically here.
Troy, you say your first note, and I'll say mine, because I bet mine is probably pretty close to what yours first one is.
I was mistaken when I said Fast and Furious was the most 2000s movie ever. This is the most 2000s movie ever.
Okay, you want to hear my first note?
Yes.
The first 10 minutes of this is everything I hate about the first one times 100.
Let me drop a bombshell on you, JT.
What?
I think I like this one better than the first one.
How dare you?
I don't know.
This movie fucking sucks.
I didn't say I liked them like they were my favorite. I said I liked this one more than the last one.
Holy shit.
I don't know why. Maybe it's just because now I have established characters to work with. I think I liked it more than the first one. I can't explain it.
I mean, we'll get into it as we go on, but I don't even know if I'm talking to the same person anymore.
Listen, I definitely have nitpicks through the whole movie.
Jesus Christ.
But for whatever reason, at the end of the day, I compared these two against each other, and I'm like, I think I like this one more. I don't know why, but I do. I think what I was going to say makes no sense, but I was going to say, I think the storyline in this makes more sense than the first one and is more believable.
What is your fucking problem? What is wrong with you?
Listen.
Did you watch like a Paul Walker memorandum thing online or something? Like,
no.
What's happening?
Listen, I still think... Listen, Paul Walker, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Exact. No. All due respect. Paul Walker.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say all due respect.
Jesus.
I appreciate his contribution to the film society.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a great actor. And it shows in this.
Yeah.
I think Tyrese shines compared to Paul Walker in this movie.
He does, but I have problems with Tyrese I'll talk about as we go on.
Okay. I'm just going to say my thoughts on Tyrese right now.
Yeah.
As a whole, I'll chime in when you have more things to say.
Yeah.
He is more charismatic.
Okay, yeah.
I think he's funnier.
Yeah.
I think he comes off as a more natural actor than Paul Walker.
Yeah. I'll give you all that, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
So I was actually excited to see, once he's introduced in this movie and is full on in it, I enjoyed his appearances on screen.
I like Tyrese in this as well. I do agree with you, he is funnier.
Yes.
He is a better actor than Paul Walker.
Yes.
But his character is so anti-authority, I have no idea why he's still alive.
You are not incorrect.
Every single person that asks him to do one thing, his first words are, fuck you. Where I'm like, how are you still alive? Yeah. How did you not meet the one person that said, well, then you're dead, or you're fired, or I'm burying you in a pit somewhere?
Yeah.
He never says anything like, okay. I don't think the words okay ever left his lips.
I like when this movie introduces him. It's during a destruction derby or demolition derby.
That was fun. I'll give you the demo derby. Like, the fact that we're in a world where everyone is bullshit, like, everyone is bullshit dick hard for cars. The fact that you introduce someone in a demo derby is fun.
They also... So, I had a few questions during that demo derby. Paul Walker says to that other agent or whatever that this guy is crazy. He won't do anything. He's off his rocker. So I'm looking forward to this demo derby that we're in, that he's going to do some crazy shit. Nothing happens in this whatsoever.
No.
The craziest thing that happens is that he kicks out his windshield to see more. Otherwise, he got his ass smashed in this demo derby.
Does Seymour Skinner?
Yeah. I thought it was the stupidest introduction, also to the point where then he goes and meets him after the derby, and they get into the bitchiest fight rolling around on the ground I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah. Troy, I think you're killing the lead here. What about the first, moments of this movie?
All right, we can double back. We can double back.
I appreciate your talk of Tyrese.
I wanted to praise this movie before we really kind of get into it.
No,
build it up a little bit to tear it down.
Look, yeah, I'll give you Tyrese. He's
Okay.
fun.
Okay, thank
And
you.
I'll have things to say about Tyrese as we go on, but
Okay.
the beginning of this movie is a clusterfuck of madness.
The beginning of this movie is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's all of the whatever 120 minutes of the last movie in 10 minutes.
Yeah. To a point. No, not even that. They legit take all of the first movie and inject it with steroids and then compress it in a box that is the first 10 minutes of this movie.
Yes.
Because it is so neon lit.
Oh my god, underglow, crazy. NOS.
Yeah, they don't even call it Nosmus. They call it juice or some shit?
I don't know.
Oh, you got juice? You got some juice, bro?
They NOS so hard in the beginning of this.
You want me to inject some juice in you? It's like that shit. And let's talk about Yuki.
Yes, let's. Because I am, I guess, made to understand by the introduction of her that she is a lesbian?
No. I think she's supposed to be Ludacris's girlfriend.
But
they play it up where... Let's just lay it on the table. Yuki is an Asian fetish in this movie.
yes.
She is the equivalent of an Asian fetish. You're supposed to watch her as, I want to fuck the shit out of her, and they make it a prevalent throughout the whole fucking movie.
Yes. So
She's played by Devon Aoki, who is in Sin City.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
She's in Sin City though.
Yes.
But she is fucking paraded in this movie don't you want to fuck her so much to the point where when she performs a jump in her car, she yells, "Smack my ass."
She's really into ass stuff in the beginning of this movie.
Jesus
that goes
Christ.
away. Okay, so I have a note about her. So it made it seem that, and it is Yuki, that's her name?
Yeah.
That she could be a lesbian in this, because when Ludacris comes to hit on her, she says, "Sorry, you don't have the right parts." And I'm like, oh, okay, she's a lesbian then.
Yeah.
She's turning him down.
But then later when he's I'll work on your car for you, and then she's legit
Okay.
pulling on his jeans I'd appreciate that. Where it's so are you gonna fuck him for car parts?
That's okay. That's what I thought. The line in this is she told Ludacris he doesn't have the right parts, but then it seems she will bang him at the end of the race.
Yeah.
What? Then it just seems like they are just fetishizing
And then
her.
every scene after that, she's always in the same scene as Ludacris, where it's so are they dating?
I don't know.
Every time you see Ludacris, she's there.
Yep.
And it's yo, Yuki's here too, bro. Or wait, so are you dating? Are you fucking her? Are you just friends?
It's incomprehensible.
Yeah.
No, nobody knows.
She's literally
Nobody
just
knows.
an Asian fetish. She's literally just there to be hey, ever wanted to fuck an Asian chick? This chick might fuck you if you're into cars.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's hard to get over. Suki is her name.
Oh, Suki, okay.
Suki. Devon Aoki is her name.
But like every racer in that first scene is like a stereotype. Because they have that Hispanic guy too, where he's like, "Hey, Mang."
And she's Miho in Sin City.
Yeah, Miho in Sin City.
There you go.
But they have that one like that one Latino guy who was like, "Hey, Mang."
Yeah.
Hey, I'll raise you 1,000, Mang.
Yeah.
We're like, oh my god.
Maybe this is just a product of the early 2000s in which they have to do this.
Yeah.
But they do that with like every race in this. And not car race, just ethnic race. And they like they stereotype it down to its like most distilled offensive form to me, and I'm just like, this is off-putting. We've grown so much since the early 2000s.
Wait till we get to the two old guys later.
Okay.
Like, what were their name? Yeah, they call them Fonzie and Fabio.
Yeah.
We'll talk about those guys later. But yeah, in this, like, I was so uncomfortable watching like this first 10 minutes. Like everything was so bad. Like even like that part where like Ludacris calls Brian.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey man, we got an open spot." And like, "I'll be there in a sec." And he gets in his fucking car and like drives there or whatever. And then while they're like waiting for him to show up, they have this like sweeping shot of all these fucking shitty foreign cars opening their trunk doors, displaying these shitty bass fucking speakers, and there's a scene in this where every fucking bass speaker is playing a different song, and it made me want to fucking bore my eardrums out.
You know what okay, this is odd. So like the last movie and in this movie, everyone's car is the like Honda whatever. They're all like got the big spoilers on them.
Yeah.
Neon colors, the underglow. Super annoying. Those were so hot in the early 2000s. Like that every Pimp My Ride episode ended up somebody having a car that looked like it should belong on the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
But in this movie, they make notice to say that like American-made muscle cars
they do that
are the hottest shit ever.
Yeah, they did that in the first one.
I
forgot to bring it up. That they like legit like when they have Vin Diesel break out his car where it's like, yeah, this is my dad's car. It's American made.
Yeah.
But I'm too much of a pussy to ride it myself. Where it's like the minute he breaks it out and he drives it, it's like, God damn, this car's so fucking good.
It's got like, a bigger cock than I do.
Yeah, like when he drives it, it's like, this car's even fucking need nos. Like these shitty Hondas.
Do you feel it, Hemi? This doesn't even need nos.
Like you get these shitty Hondas, you need like 3 or 4 tanks of nos, but this American-made muscle cock that I'm driving, you don't need nos for this motherfucker. I could beat a train with this thing.
This thing has so much balls under the hood. It's disgusting.
You can even see its balls hanging out of the hood with that thing that sticks out the top of it.
Oh,
but yeah, they double down on that shit in this movie.
Yeah, we're all like the quote old timers in this that are like
Fonzie and Fabio. They call them.
They have like the quintessential muscle cars, which like the main characters then ditch their like their tricked out fucking bullshit nos fueled cars in order to get with this American muscle.
Well, in their defense, Dexter's dad, he fucking...
I don't even know who Dexter is. Who is this?
The movie, or the show, Dexter.
Oh, yes, got it. I'm like, I don't know who Dexter is in this movie. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, he's not in the movie.
I know.
Dexter's dad.
Yes.
The FBI guy.
Yes.
That uses the electricity gun.
Yes. What is happening in this movie? So this movie plays it pretty straightforward. There's not a lot of fantasy elements to this. I'm like, okay, people soup up their cars. They load it with nos.
Sure. Or juice. Or
whatever. And they're freaking nos and juicing like crazy. But I'm like, it's not ridiculous. And then at one point, Dexter's dad shoots an electric grappling hook at a car, and it becomes a kind of a plot point of the movie.
Yeah.
For
some reason, electric grappling hooks shut down cars immediately.
Listen, I don't want to doubt the FBI, but the FBI does not have electric grappling hooks in this. Not in real life. This isn't a real thing. This was the one point in the movie where I'm like, I'm kind of calling bullshit on the electric grappling hooks.
Like, there's, like, it comes out of nowhere. Like, there's, like, agents shooting at him, and then Dexter's dad comes out with what looks like a space-age, like, Battlefield Earth gun, and fires it at the car, and then it just has these, like, weird electricity beams come off it, where it's like, did I fall asleep? Like, what is this fucking movie?
Yeah, it totally takes... And it's like the one weird thing. Like, this movie doesn't get any weirder than that.
Yeah.
Like, that is it sticks out like a sore thumb.
It's weird, but it's not like sci-fi weird.
You're right.
The fucking electricity grappling hook is sci-fi weird.
Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck? Where did this come from?
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, sure. What, like, the one thing that you have to, like, slow down the main character, you do it once, fine. There's a scene where, like, there's guys, like, SWAT dudes and choppers that have, like, 9 of them, like, aimed at these cars where it's like, what? So this is a thing.
This is standard issue?
This is like day 9 of FBI training. Yeah. You get introduced to the electricity grappling hook gun.
Of course you do. I also want to bring up, before we get too far in this, so at the beginning where they're doing like the first intro 10 minutes, Paul Walker's reintroduced, they hit the nos or the juice.
Yeah.
And it does like that CG pump into the car and goes up through their engine.
Yeah.
I thought the CG in this was worse
than
in the first one.
Yeah.
And if not worse, just the same. And in 3 years, you would think that the CG would get maybe better, but there's even points in this where they're racing where it looks like the cars are just composited onto the road.
Yeah.
And I could pick it out so easily.
Troy, in our defense, we were still healing from 9/11.
That's very true.
I mean, come on. Be a little sensitive.
I guess never forget. But this 2003 has no excuse. We've moved on as a country. We've banded together. You would think CG would get better so it doesn't look like a dumb fucking car. Is CG composited onto a road and they didn't even really drive one. It's bad.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
More notes.
It is terrible. More notes.
What do I got here?
Continue.
So after the first initial intro race, there's also a cop chase scene where everyone's kind of ditching.
Yeah.
And Paul Walker gets chased down.
This is where electricity gun comes in.
This is where electricity gun comes in. But there are points in this where, so he's driving must be like a foreign car because the steering wheel's on the opposite side.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. At first I thought it was a mistake where why did Paul Walker get out of that side of his car but when everyone else is on the other side? But then it makes point to show him that he's on the other side for whatever reason. So anyway, that makes no sense. But when there are points where he's driving away from the cops, where it shows him as like a profile view, it just flashes like they didn't even composite like a road on the green screen through his car.
Really?
You just see the green screen in like 2 shots. Where I'm like, what the fuck? You didn't even finish the movie?
I need to go back and see this now.
It's like it's during that cop chase.
Oh my
where
God.
it shows him like looking around like, whoa, what's going on? And you just see a green screen through his car. Maybe I'm wrong and it's like a wall behind him or something, but it looks like a green screen.
Oh wait. Well, I got a note before this even was one of my favorite lines before we get into all this is like right before the race, someone says one of my favorite lines, "Oh shit, it's Brian."
Oh shit, it's Brian.
When they have the whole scene where they're like, we need a fourth racer. Who do you got, Ludacris? His name's not Ludacris, but it's like
whatever his name is.
This is Ludacris. There's like, I got someone in mind, and then he like calls, and they do this whole shit where it's like they show the back of Paul Walker's head, where it's like, oh, it's him.
Yeah.
But they never like say his name, and then he comes out of the car and like, oh shit, it's Brian. And he's just like, he looks like a fucking like good old boy with his fucking white t-shirt and his jeans.
Yep.
And everyone's like, oh my God. Like, everyone's like dressed like a fucking anime character. And he comes out in a fucking white t-shirt and everyone's like losing their shit like, it's fucking Brian.
Can I comment on his wardrobe in this movie?
Yeah.
Not only this movie, but the previous one, where he just is dressed like a total asshole.
Yeah.
He's literally just dressed in a West Coast Choppers t-shirt.
Yeah.
And khaki shorts.
Yeah, there is like a scene. Yeah.
Like he just came from home.
It does. There's like a scene. Yeah, I think when he first meets up with Tyrese, he's wearing a West Coast Choppers t-shirt where it's like, I guess they're paying? Or like, did you just come from home and you're like, all right, guys, start filming. I don't give a shit.
The wardrobe for Paul Walker is atrocious.
Yeah.
Even Tyrese, I believe, has a wardrobe consultant on this.
He's dressed like he just got up from watching the first one.
Yeah, but at least, okay, I feel like his wardrobe choices were deliberate, even though he has a sleeveless, open shirt showing all of his abs.
Wait, Tyrese does not wear sleeves in this shirt in this movie at all.
Nope.
I checked. I checked the movie. Tyrese
not a
never
sleeve in sight.
has a sleeve on in this movie. Tyrese never wears a sleeve.
It is...
Here's my theory. So they wrote this movie expecting that Vin Diesel would be back on. Mm-hmm. Because, like, Tyrese always acts like... I feel like they wrote this with Vin Diesel in mind for the Tyrese role.
Uh-huh.
And then Vin Diesel read it and was like, wait, this is way more cartoonish than what I was in the first one.
Uh-huh.
It was like, but you're a criminal. Like, you're against everyone. Uh-huh. And he's like, no. So then they hired Tyrese, where it's like, because like everything about him strikes me as they meant this for Vin Diesel, and they just wrote around it after he said no.
I could see that.
It's so much of like Paul Walker's like, there's this guy that I knew once.
Yep.
And then they had to make this whole story up where it's like, yeah, I arrested him when I was a cop once upon a time. Or like, that's such a weird story.
Yeah.
Like, why would you think of that? Like,
yeah.
This random guy I arrested a long time ago is really good at driving cars.
And he's not even like, they were like kind of, I guess, childhood friends-ish.
Yeah.
And then Paul Walker became a cop. Coincidentally, he gets, Tyrese gets arrested, not by Paul Walker, but Paul Walker is just a cop at the time.
Yeah. And then Tyrese blames him.
Now hates all cops and Paul Walker.
Yeah. But this movie's just struck me so much as like, Vin Diesel's gonna come back, because this is buku bucks, and Vin Diesel's just like, this is the stupidest character you've ever written here. I've ever read. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we gotta do it, because Fast and Furious is awesome. Let's hire Tyrese and just make him a new character.
Right.
A character that makes no sense. Because it's supposed to be a character Paul Walker knew. They don't insinuate at all.
I don't know.
They don't insinuate at all that Paul Walker had a past with anything cars before the first one. It's just that you're in charge of getting to know this car gang because they're stealing shit.
Right.
And now in the second one, it's like, well, you also knew another guy that knew cars too. We just don't bring him up anymore until we get to the second one.
Right.
And this guy also happens to be anti-authority like Vin Diesel's, but so anti-authority that it's borderline cartoonish.
Right.
Where if anyone tells him to do anything, his first words are, "No!
Can't tell me what to do.
You can't tell me what to do."
Yeah. So after the arrest of now Paul Walker, aka Brian, he gets picked up by the FBI and the local police because now they need his skills as a retired detective and now street racer.
Yeah.
In order to infiltrate this gang, this like not drug lord, just this crime lord. What was he doing?
I think he's a drug. It's something involving
Is it drugs?
something. I think it's drugs because it's like, yeah, it's drugs because they were like, well, we have this thing that he does where like he makes people pick up something for him to see if they can work for him. So we want you to do that to see if it's drugs, so you can arrest him on the spot. But it's not that. It's a Cuban cigar with a cutter, wink, to see if you're worthy of driving for him.
Yeah. I found it very funny that this is ended up being one of my notes in this, that the setups so everyone can just street race in this movie are ridiculous.
Stupid.
It's like so ham-fisted in this movie. It's like, well, all right, we need to see who's the best equipped to work for me, the crime boss. So in order to do so, you need to street race.
We need all of you to street race down a busy highway at 120 miles per hour to get a cigar for me.
You need to find my red car and what's inside the glove box. And to do so, please street race all the way there, and the winner.
Yeah.
And let me finish my note. And once you get there, Tyrese, make sure you take your shirt off because it'll totally be worth it.
It doesn't matter because your sleeves are already off the shirt you're already wearing.
So naturally, Paul Walker and Tyrese get to this red car first, to only find that there's a cigar in the glove box.
Yeah.
But when they get there, Tyrese, like, just grossly takes off his shirt just to show what he's got going on underneath.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I think it's buttoned up. Anytime after this, it is unbuttoned, and he is free.
Unbuttoned to the full extent.
He takes off his shirt to get the pop from the crowd to punch out a window, to put it back on when they're trying to get out of there when the cops arrive.
Yeah.
It's just a gross negligence in order to shoehorn another street race into this.
Yeah.
And they do it at least one more time in this, if not twice.
So this does not see, and there's like car accidents during the street race where people have had to have died.
Like when the semi runs over somebody?
Yes!
And I don't think it even stops.
It does. No, that person's dead. And this was all to pick up a cigar in a red car in a police impound.
Yeah. It's not even a police impound. That guy owns that lot.
God damn it.
It was all a setup to find who the best racer could be.
Yeah. As I called fake Patrick Wilson.
Yeah. I don't know what his name is. I haven't even the IMDb up.
I call him fake Patrick. He looks like fake Patrick Wilson.
I'm not even going to give you his real name then. Fake Pat Wilson. There you go. That's fine.
He's fake Night Owl.
I also wanted to count. I thought of this after the movie was done, but I probably also thought of it during when we watched the first one. I wanted to count how many times they changed gears during any specific race, because they seem to do it 8 to 10 times.
Yeah, these cars have 10 gears.
At any point when they don't know what to to pan to, it just shows them hitting the clutch and changing the gear again. I'm like, I feel like you've done this to excess
You're
already.
already going 200 miles per hour. How many more gears can you go from this point?
It's just like them. It's just like the wee sound. Like, you don't have 9 gears in this thing.
I have to work my way up to the Mach 1 gear.
And then make sure I hit the NOS.
Yeah, the juice. Hit the juice this time.
Oh, my God.
So, I want to bring up, there's a scene after Paul Walker and Tyrese prove themselves worthy, that he's in the car with, Paul Walker's in the car with Eva Mendes, who he's like macking on super hard. Like, she's like the undercover guy, or the undercover chick for like the FBI.
Yeah.
That's like leading them in.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where he's speeding down the road at like 120 miles per hour, just looking her in the eyes.
Yes.
And the whole time I was like, oh, how did Paul Walker die again?
Oh, no.
And I immediately got so uncomfortable watching that scene where I'm like, man, like, if only you knew how this ends for you, dude.
I never even thought about that, but now I will not be able to forget about that. Especially if this is like a common thread.
Yeah, if he spends the whole rest of the movies that just staring in chicks' eyes as he drives like 120 miles per hour down those highway with Tyrese be like, turn around, man, turn around.
Was he doing the no look thing to you? Or,
yeah.
Oh my God.
That was kind of a funny scene though.
That
were you the new look? That was my look. That's
my thing.
That's my move.
Yeah.
Also, so after that scene, Eva Mendes invites them to fake Paul Walker's club.
Yeah.
And so they accept or whatever, and then they go there. And one of Tyrese's...
fake Pat Wilson.
Fake Pat Wilson.
Yeah, not Paul. You said fake Paul Walker.
Fake
Pat Wilson.
Fake Pat Wilson. Fake Pat Wilson. Wilson's club. And when they go there, Tyrese's amazing line when he walks in is, "It's a oasis in here."
That's a good line. That's a good line. Are you saying that's not a good line?
It's a oasis up in here.
That's a good line.
All right, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
Okay. Is it? And then we're now leading up to the rat bucket.
Yeah. I think that, this is Rat Bucket.
Because now, until, like, the almost very end, I have no notes.
Really?
So, like, I wanted to bring up Rat Bucket.
Yeah.
But, like, from almost to the point where they meet Eva Mendes, and the whole kind of, like, almost infiltration to this guy's the whole thing going on here, I thought was, like, played fairly serious, and I kind of liked the point where Eva Mendes and Paul Walker are kind of getting to like each other, and that's making them, like, the crime boss kind of mad, because, like, hey, that's my chick, you can't be taken away from me. Like, I think all of that kind of worked for me, but it was only in this, like, small 20 minutes.
Yeah,
it wasn't ridiculous. They didn't do any racing at this point. It was like an infiltration of this guy's underworld mob boss kind of stuff.
But for me, the whole Paul Walker Eva Mendes relationship was just based on, we're hot and we want to fuck each other.
Yes, there is
nothing in there's like legit like a scene they bring up out of nowhere where she like sneaks onto his houseboat that he's living on.
Yes,
and she's wearing like the smallest half shirt imaginable, and he's just like, he's gonna kill you and I'm gonna fuck you right now. Like, for some reason, she's all wet too.
Yeah,
like,
that made no sense. Like, did you swim here?
She's all wet in a half shirt and like the smallest short shorts possible, and she's just like, I care about you so much and he's gonna kill you, and oh my god, and just starts making out with him, and that's the only time they kiss or even touch each other.
Yeah.
To a point where I'm like, this is the most forced fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
It is forced, but I think it worked for me in the movie. I agree with you that, yes, it is a forced thing, but I'm like, I don't hate this chunk of the movie. I think it's his strongest part.
I think the things that fuck the most in this movie are Paul Walker and Eva Mendes' eyes.
Yeah.
Because every single time they see each other, just like,
Should we or shouldn't we?
Oh, God, I know the crime boss is looking at us right now, but I'm gonna fuck you right now.
And Tyrese is just like, you better not be fucking.
I'd rather dive into this oasis than fuck this chick.
Yeah, that's what you get, Brian. You always go falling for those females.
Meanwhile, he's like trying to fuck everything else that's moving.
He dives head first in that oasis.
He loves that oasis.
So anyway, for me, this little aspect of it worked because I like the whole play on like everybody doesn't know everything. Like the Tyrese and Brian don't know what's going on with the crime boss.
Yeah.
The crime boss doesn't know that Eva Mendes is undercover.
Yeah.
And he also doesn't know like there is a budding relationship between Eva Mendes and Brian. I kind of like all that kind of stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
That I feel is the most interesting, even though it's kind of played out in other movies. Yeah. Like I think they do that in the Punisher Tom Jane movie to an extent. But they do a point now where they say that there is people in the police department that are under the fake Pac Wilson's payroll.
Yes.
And it's the guy who plays freaking what's his face from Batman.
Oh, you don't like falafel?
Yeah, the falafel guy who gets rat bucketed.
Oh God. That Rat Bucket, I can't wait to talk about Rat Bucket.
I will let you have the floor for Rat Bucket because I feel like we're already there.
So this movie's PG-13. They can only do so much.
Uh-huh.
And I've actually seen this same thing play out in Game of Thrones.
Oh.
That they do the exact same thing, but it's way more violent, of course.
I would assume.
And in this, they can only do so much to where when they do this whole thing... So the whole thing is... They torture this detective into working for them by grabbing a rat and putting him under a bucket and then lighting the bucket on fire with a was it a lighter, I think?
Just a propane torch.
Yeah, so they use a propane torch to make the bucket hot so that the rat panics and then tries to claw its way out. And since it can't claw through steel, it has to claw through a person. So they do that in this. It's a PG-13 movie, and they do it for long enough where fucking You Don't Like Falafel detective is screaming at the top of his lungs where it's like, oh shit, he must be getting fucked up by this rat.
You're right.
So he agrees to it, they pull the bucket up, and there's a few scratches, and he's got... the rat gave him pink belly.
Yeah. The rat gave him pink belly.
The rat gave him pink belly.
For the amount of screaming that he did, you would think it at least bored some sort of hole at this point.
There should be some blood.
Yeah.
Some blood.
Something. Just a simple scratch.
The rat gave him pink belly.
Just under there.
Yeah. He's like,
slapping his
do you like this, huh? Do you like this? Do you want more? I'm gonna keep going. Agree. You better agree to this deal.
Just slapping his guts. That'd be so fucking funny. Oh, my God.
So he agrees to break the law because the rat gave him pink belly.
So I haven't seen this type of thing before. So I thought it was like kind of an ingenious way to torture somebody. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
I've never seen it in anything else.
Yeah.
And granted, even if it was in Game of Thrones, this would have come first.
Yeah.
But I want to say that this didn't make this up. Like, it's already a thing.
I'm sure it's a thing.
But I haven't seen it before. So it kind of took me by surprise. It's like a bit of a gruesome moment.
Yeah.
That you don't really see any gore or anything like that.
No.
But it's like, oh shit, like this movie's fucking not playing around. He's going to make a rat go in his guts. But that ends up just being a whole pink belly scene, and then whatever. Everyone
lifts
leaves.
The bucket up, and you see pink belly.
Yeah, right.
But then, okay, so does Falafel Detective from Batman Begins? Does he do his job?
I don't think so.
Because they do that whole thing where, like, so his whole thing is that, like, he's supposed to hold off the detectives from investigating this trailer that's full of his money.
Yes.
But he still says, okay, go. After enough time where it's like, okay, even if you were working for the guy, you're still setting him loose to where Paul Walker and Tyrese aren't ready to carry the money.
Yeah. So that
means he's willing to let his family die even after Rat Pink Belly?
So this is the way I took it. So after Rat Pink Belly, he was supposed to agree to give the crime boss 15 minutes of lead time in order to get this thing done and get out of there. But he doesn't give him those 15 minutes, and I took it as he's more noble than what he brings on. He just couldn't stand by and let this happen anymore and called in the reinforcements. Granted, he held him off for like maybe 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
But he didn't give him the full 15 because he felt like he needed his just desserts, I suppose.
Okay.
That's the way I took it.
But they spend the whole scene with him looking at pictures of his family, and then he says, okay, go.
Yeah.
So, in that makes me assume that he's just like, fuck you to his family.
Maybe.
And then says go. I don't even like him anyways.
Maybe so. I would like to think that's not the case.
I would like to think it's not the case either, but there's literally nothing else that he's looking at to make me assume that he's thinking otherwise.
Maybe he had faith in the police force that they would get the job done?
Oh, Troy.
I don't know.
Oh, poor sweet naive Troy.
I am pretty naive. I already know that. But anyway, so at this point, they've already raced a few more times. They raced against the muscle cars.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I want to talk about fucking... So, Fonzie and Fabio.
Yeah.
The old fucks.
Mm-hmm.
These guys look like they are not made to be...
In this movie?
They look like someone... They look like someone from American Chopper.
Yeah.
Someone that moved in and was like, yo, I want you to customize my bike.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you want to be in a movie? Yeah, sure.
Yep.
I mean, we got Paul Walker wearing our shirt, so we have leeway to get you in this movie.
Yeah.
Because they look like two old, Guido fucks that they just gave muscle cars to, and then they spent, of course, so we talked about how they doubled down on, American Muscle is so badass in this.
Yeah.
They had to, fix the race to a point where it's the only way they could beat these guys is if they fucked them over.
Yes.
Because their American muscle cars are so fucking cool.
Yep. That's true.
Oh my God.
It made me feel like these guys should be, important in real life.
Yeah.
Because, why are these guys still hanging around in this movie?
Yeah.
Are they famous somehow that I don't know who they are? Should I know these people?
Yeah, because they introduce them. When do they introduce them in some scene where they were like, "Oh yeah, those guys are total dweebs. We'll just rip them off from their cars." And
it was right before
race them for slips.
Yeah, they were right before they introduced a bunch of people, when Paul Walker and Tyrese come up to the crime boss's house before they do the raid.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
to get the cigar.
They were part of the race before for the cigar, and they were like, oh yeah, those guys are totally easy. We'll just totally rip them off, for their cars and get their pink slips, because they find out that the Hondas that the FBI gave them are littered with some kind of tracking devices, where the guy that works at Ludacris's garage is like, man, it's laced in everything. There's no way I can get these tracking devices out. There's tracking devices and tracking devices in this thing.
Yeah.
Where it's Ludacris's garage is the most fucked up thing. It's like a garage that's on a beach.
Right.
So it's there's people playing fucking jet skiing right outside his garage.
Got beach volleyball going on somewhere.
Yeah, it's we got a garage. Yeah, we're a business at the garage, but we also fuck each other in the fucking ocean.
Yeah,
break.
The garage seems just like a side hustle for him at this point.
Yeah.
And his main job is just to make money on people racing anything.
Yeah.
That's what he makes money on. It's just people...
Ludacris's garage is a garage for like 25% of his income, and 75% of his income is hosting MTV Spring Break in his backyard.
Yeah.
Where 100 people show up and like bet on like jet ski races.
Every day.
Every fucking day.
I don't get it, man. It makes no sense.
Well, fucking Yuki is like blowing him every once in a while.
Suki.
Yeah.
It bewilders me.
Yeah.
Regardless. Okay, so going back to the race, they win the muscle cars off these guys.
Yeah.
And now, so they're doing like the big final, like, the race to get to like this airstrip or whatever to get their final plan.
Yeah.
The final plan for this fucking crime lord or whatever.
Yeah.
Fake Pat Wilson.
Yeah.
So each of Tyrese and Paul Walker has one of the bodyguards with them at all times, so they're not like gonna fuck around and like bolt or whatever.
Yeah.
They're keeping them on the straight and narrow. But what the guy was able to do at Ludacris's garage, their mechanic, was incorporate a little more NOS into there so they can put an ejector seat.
Ejector seats in their fucking cars.
To eject the dudes out the side of the car. And so it worked with Tyrese's, but then before Paul Walker can hit his...
doesn't do it because he finds out Eva Mendes is with
somewhere else.
Fake Pat Wilson.
So he goes to rescue her. Shit goes down. They kind of escape on a boat. And then they end up getting on the boat. What happens here?
Paul Walker and Tyrese shows up and saves Paul Walker from like a shootout after Fake Pat Wilson and Eva Mendes escape on a yacht. So then Tyrese and Paul Walker get in a car and then they ramp it into the yacht.
Yes.
Where it's like, why would you... So you're doing this to save Eva Mendes? How do you know you're not going to crush Eva Mendes by crashing your big fucking American muscle car into a fucking yacht that she's on?
It's American muscle. It's too powerful.
Yeah.
How do you know that power is not going to go unchecked?
That big American dick isn't going to fucking just shoot right through it.
Yeah. Swing and crush everyone. Oh, my God. Regardless... They end up winning at the end. Eva Mendes ends up getting them in point-blank shotgun style. Doesn't shoot him, but is like, listen, motherfucker, now you're...
I'm going to kill you if you move.
Oh, shit. We got some thunder going on outside. Right as the peak of this movie is coming to full force.
Paul Walker's giving his 2 cents.
And so, the movie ends. All the bad guys lose. Paul Walker and Tyrese... are like, hey, man, we fucking did it.
They stuff enough money in their pants so they can buy their own garage.
Right. Even before this. So the chase, in order for to chase down Paul Walker and Tyrese, before they even get to Eva Mendes and all that kind of stuff, they end up doing this whole police chase, which I thought was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was decent.
But then they end up going into... and pulling a fast one on the cops by running into this garage and shutting the doors, only to trick the police by opening the doors, all of them.
A whole bunch of cars come out.
And like 80 cars come out of this garage. And I'm like, that amount of cars cannot fit in this building.
How much loyalty do you have to these 2 people that you're like, okay, so all 80 of these people that come out of this garage... You're probably going to go to prison. All of you are going to go to prison for these 2 guys that aren't going to do shit for you afterwards.
Right. And so it's just a clusterfuck and that's when the switcheroo happens, where they ditched out the riced out Hondas and they get into the American muscle cars to go to their end point or whatever. And then the one note I want to have that I didn't want to bring up. So Tyrese and Paul Walker are talking on walkie-talkies with each other.
Yeah.
And Tyrese does the ejector seat thing to his passenger.
Yeah.
And says on a walkie-talkie to Paul Walker, hey man, the ejector seat worked. This is a walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
The guy in the other
right
car
next to,
has to hear
the
what's
dude
going
is
on.
gotta be deaf as fuck. Because he's talking to him on a two-way radio that he's holding, like, super far away from his face.
Right.
And the guy's just sitting there like,
Man, this is a great car.
what a sweet car you put us in. You probably raced some fucking weird, like, mongoloid. Some crazy Italian mongoloid for this, I bet, huh?
God, the end of this movie, we're all over the place, but there are things I cannot leave out in this.
It falls apart so bad.
So, the electric grappling hooks come back in this.
Yeah,
near
they
the
shoot
end
like
of this.
3 of them into Paul Walker's car.
It's ridiculous. So anyway, we're at the end of the movie. The crime lord has been taken captive by the police. Eva Mendes and Paul Walker and Tyrese are all talking at the end. They had like a happy ending. They're going to wipe their slates clean.
Yeah.
They're going to let him go. Eva Mendes goes off or whatever.
Eva Mendes walks off with Dexter's dad. And then she
one,
like looks over at him and just like stares where it's like, she could have fucked me.
Right.
Or it's
like she walks away with like not looking where she's going. And I thought she literally was going to run into a tree. She doesn't, but it looks like it's coming.
Yeah. I gotta make sure I look back to make sure Paul Walker knows that I would fuck him if I had the chance.
Right. I'm going to stare at him while I'm going and not looking where I'm going.
Yeah.
Call back. How about that?
Yeah.
Even though
Sooner
she's
or
not in a
later.
car.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, Paul Walker.
She's in a human car. She's walking.
That's right. Paul Walker and Tyrese are like, hey man, what a crazy adventure. Why don't we like make a life for ourselves? How are we going to do that? Paul Walker says, maybe I line my pockets with some stuff. Tyrese opens up his shirt. He's got money stuffed in his pants.
Paul Walker's got money in his pocket too, doesn't he?
Yeah, I just said that.
Okay. Well, yeah. So their money is full of, their pants are full of money.
Right. They took a little bit off the top from the duffel bag of money that was being transferred to
They're
whatever.
gonna buy their own garage. The end.
The end. It's literally the end after that. Like it credits.
Yeah. Great. I'll give this movie that much credit that it's not as obligatory of an ending as the first one, where it's just Vin Diesel drives away, end credits.
Yeah.
This one is just like, we got a future,
Yeah.
end credits.
Right. Only to go to a completely different sequel where it's Tokyo Drift after this. It's like,
I'm not looking forward to Tokyo Drift at all.
I kind of am, curiously enough.
For some reason, you love this, so you're probably.
Well, okay, no, I didn't
jizz your
say
pants
love
over
this.
Tokyo Drift.
I said I liked this more than the first one. I could also take or leave this movie whatsoever.
See, I missed Vin Diesel in this.
I was looking for him to show up too.
I wanted Vin Diesel so much. Like, Vin Diesel adds so much to the first one, where like he adds like this weird intensity every time he showed up, where I was like, I like you. I want more of you. And I feel like they tried to make Tyrese that same person, but it just kind of came off as like, what do you got to say? Or it's like, no, you're not the same.
You're not the same. I did like him.
Yeah. Like, I feel like that's why they make him the comedy character, where it's like he's supposed to be step-in Vin Diesel, but everything he does in this was just like, you're not Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure who's all in what movie. I know Tokyo Drift is the biggest departure.
Yeah, nobody.
So nobody's in that one.
Little Bow Wow's in Tokyo Drift.
Oh my god, I'm kind of rethinking wanting to watch it. But I was still looking, I was like, does Vin Diesel show up in this? I'm still waiting for him just to drop in at the end, just to help out, like as a Deus Ex Machina type shit. Never happens.
Doesn't come back till 4.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to when we get to 4 then.
Yeah.
To get Vin
Fast
Diesel.
and Furious. Not the Fast and the Furious.
Just a nice relaunch. We'll get there.
We'll get there. We're getting there. We got to get through Tokyo Drift first. Christ.
So that was Too Fast, Too Furious, JT.
Dude, if we do Tokyo Drift next week and we're doing Godzilla.
Oh my. Tokyo Week?
We're doing Tokyo Week next week.
All right, let's do it.
We're doing Tokyo Week.
I'm in. I'm all in. Oh my god.
Oh, shit. But yeah, so your final thoughts on Too Fast, Too Furious? Because I think we've beaten this fucking movie to death.
Yeah, we did.
We're like an hour in now.
Oh my god, that's unnecessary. What did I give Fast and the Furious? Did I write it down? Of course I didn't. Well, do you remember what I gave Fast and Furious? Was it like a D minus? Or maybe
not
C
a D minus, maybe a C. I think you gave it a C.
If I gave it a C, I'll give this one a C plus.
All right.
I don't know how I liked it more, but I did.
Yeah.
I can't explain it, so I'm giving it a C plus. There you go.
All right.
For the second entry.
All right. I'm giving this a D. I fucking hated this movie. I was watching this and it's just like the only thing to connect it to the first one was Paul Walker, and I didn't really like him in the first one. And Tyrese, he's working his ass off in this, but I feel like they tried to sell him as like the new Vin Diesel, and he's not the new Vin Diesel. Like, I'm really curious to see what they do with him in like the later movies where they try and make him in the comedy relief. Because I feel like that would be like the better role for him.
Uh-huh.
But in this, they try and make him... They go so out of their way to make him a badass that he questions anything that asks him to do anything in this.
Right.
Like, someone's like, hey, can you hold the door for me? What? What door? Who do you think I am, huh? What, you want to start something? Like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, he's literally, like, they make him so confrontational in every situation where I was like, man, just do one thing. Do one thing a person asks you to do.
Oh, you know what I also found weird? So he's on house arrest at the beginning of this.
Yeah.
And they said he can't go 100 yards from his house, so he lives at the demo derby?
No, he lives in an RV that he drives around.
Oh, okay. So
that
doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so he can go anywhere.
The purpose of house arrest.
Anyway, that maybe knocks it down a few points.
Long story short, Tyrese is full of shit. I
still liked him.
I like Tyrese in this. I will give you that. I like Tyrese in this. It's just that I feel like the script makes him so fucking... just so anti-establishment that it's just like...
You know what probably
would
have helped this movie out for you?
What?
More Coronas. I don't think there was any Coronas in this movie.
There was plenty of juice.
There's plenty of juice. No Coronas. So maybe that would have helped it out?
Yeah. Like...
Oh, would have.
Sure. Sure. But that, and then this the weak story of, hey, here's a drug dealer. Here's a reason to race cars because he likes cars. It felt lazier than the first one, and the first one was pretty lazy, so I'm giving this a fucking D.
I can't even remember the story of the first one.
At least the first one was fucking Point Break with cars. This one was fucking, I don't even know what with cars. It was just, hey, this drug dealer loves cars, race cars good, and he'll like you enough so that you can move his drugs with you.
With cars.
With cars.
Like, oh my god, I hate cars. Anyway.
So yeah, so let's see what Tokyo Drift does, but I fucking hated this one.
Okay, very good. I'll look forward to our Tokyo Drift review coming up next Monday. Alright, so that is Too Fast, Too Furious on our road to Hobbs and Shaw with our Fast and Furious summer.
Our Too Fast, Too Furious, our Fast and Furious, well, we'll say Too Fast, Too Furious summer for this one.
Yeah. So that'll be it. JT, if they could talk to you about Fast and Furious, where can they do that with you?
They can find me at Bucky for everyone on Twitter, also Bucky for everyone on Instagram, and him at Bucky for on Instagram. Troy?
You can find me at Short of the Max. You can find us both at Review Pod on Twitter. You can find us on a whole slew of things to listen to us on, like Google Play, Stitcher, all that stuff. Just search Review Pod. If you're listening to us right now, you're doing something right. If you want to write into the show, do so at reviewpod@gmail.com. Otherwise, that's going to be it.
That'll be it. Join us for our Thursday show where we talk about Godzilla, King of Monsters, And if we're going to do it proper, we'll do a Tokyo week where we talk about that and then our Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Yes. Double dose of Tokyo madness.
Tokyo Madness week. I want to get through it just so we can start getting back to Vin Diesel. I miss Dom so much.
I want to get through this now to get The Rock in this.
I miss Dom. Yeah, I want The Rock and I want Dom.
I want this to get just insane.
I want Hobbs and I want Dom.
There we go.
Hobbs and Dom.
Hobbs and Dom.
Yeah, fuck Shaw. Hobbs and Dom.
All right, so that'll do it. So until next time, I've been Short of the Max Extreme.
I am JT3K.
And we are off.